In a small village in the Gelur Hills of India lived a man who would forever change the destiny of his community. His name was Dashrath Manji, a humble rural worker born into a poor family of the Musahar caste. To many, he was just another peasant struggling to survive, but within him burned an indomitable spirit that no one could have predicted. Dashrath was born in 1934 in an isolated region where difficulties were many and opportunities were few. The village was separated from the rest of the world by a large mountain, which made access to basic services such as schools and hospitals almost impossible. The villagers faced a journey of more than 70 kilometers to reach the nearest city, a long and dangerous path. From a young age, Dashrath was exposed to the harsh realities of rural life. He worked long hours under the scorching sun, cultivating the land and caring for the animals. Although he was a simple man, he had big dreams and a heart full of love for his family and his community. He married Faguni Devi, a strong-spirited woman who shared his determination and resilience. It was a difficult life, but Dashrath and Faguni found joy in the little things. They knew that despite the adversities, they had each other, and that was enough. However, fate had other plans, and a tragic event was about to change Dashrath's life forever. One day, while working in the field, Dashrath heard a desperate scream. It was Faguni, who had slipped and fallen while trying to cross the mountain to fetch water. Dashrath's heart raced as he ran to help her, but the mountain was unforgiving. Faguni needed urgent medical attention, but the distance to the hospital was too far. She couldn't resist her injuries and died in Dashrath's arms. The shock and pain of losing his beloved wife was devastating. Dashrath was devastated, his life shattered by tragedy. But in the midst of his sadness, something began to change within him. The mountain that had taken his wife from him had become a symbol of all the difficulties his village faced. He swore that no one else should suffer as he did. It was in this moment of pain and determination that Dashrath Manji made a decision that seemed impossible. He decided he would carve a path through the mountain, alone, with his own hands, to connect his village to the rest of the world. Armed with just a hammer and a chisel, he began his incredible journey of faith and perseverance. The news of Dashrath's decision spread quickly throughout the village. Many thought he had gone mad, overcome by grief and rage. "Dashrath, you are out of your mind," said the villagers. "How can one man alone tear down a mountain?" But Dashrath, with his eyes fixed on the mountain and his heart full of purpose, ignored the disbelievers. He knew the task was monumental, but he also knew his determination was bigger than any rock. Every day at sunrise, Dashrath would take his hammer and chisel and walk to the base of the mountain. His work was hard and slow. Each blow of the hammer reverberated through the valley, a sound that soon became familiar to the villagers. The heat of the sun, the hardness of the stones, and the solitude were constant companions. But Dashrath was undeterred. The mountain was his adversary, but also his master. She taught him patience, resilience, and the importance of every small step forward. One blow at a time, Dashrath muttered to himself, his hands calloused and his skin marked by the sun. And so, blow after blow, he began to carve a path, a crack that grew larger day by day. As time passed, Dashrath's persistence began to attract the attention of some villagers. Little by little, the laughter and mockery turned to curiosity, and eventually, respect. children approached to see the man facing the mountain, and adults began to offer sporadic help, moved by the courage and determination they saw in Dashrath. "Do you really believe you can do this, Dashrath?" asked a young man from the village, amazed at the man's dedication. "I believe," replied Dashrath with a tired but resolute smile. "If I can't knock down the mountain, he'll at least die trying." The years passed, and Dashrath's work continued. He faced many hardships, injuries, illnesses, and even starvation. At times, loneliness and despair threatened to overwhelm him, but the memory of Faguni and the suffering she and so many other villagers had endured gave him the strength to carry on. Eventually, Dashrath's determination began to attract attention beyond the confines of his village. Journalists and onlookers came from far and wide to see the man who was moving a mountain with his own hands. The story of his courage and persistence spread, inspiring many to believe in the impossible. Dashrath never sought fame or glory. For him, each blow of the chisel was a step towards a better future for his village. And despite all adversity, he continued, knowing that his work was a tribute to the love and memory of his wife and a gift to future generations. After years of tireless work, Dashrath Manji was far from finished, but the mountain's transformation was undeniable. The crevice he had carved grew larger each day, becoming a rudimentary but passable path. His determination began to be reflected in the lives of the villagers, who now believed in his vision and offered more support. "Watch out for the rocks, Dashrath," shouted a villager as he hammered with renewed strength. "I'm always careful," Dashrath replied with a smile. "This mountain doesn't know who it's dealing with." With each blow, Dashrath not only carved the mountain, but also carved a new destiny for his community. He began to attract the attention of the local government, who sent representatives to check on his progress. At first, they were skeptical, but when they saw Dashrath's determination and the impact of his work, they began offering resources and support. "You are truly amazing, Manji, sir," said a government official. "How can we help?" "Any help is welcome," Dashrath replied, without looking away from the mountain. "But I won't stop, even if no one else helps me." Dashrath Manji's story started spreading like wildfire. Journalists from distant cities came to document their incredible journey. He became a living legend, a symbol of perseverance and hope. His actions inspired others to believe in the impossible, to face their own personal mountains with determination and courage. "You have become an inspiration to many," said a reporter while interviewing Dashrath. "I'm just doing what needs to be done," he replied humbly. "If it inspires someone, then it was worth it." Even with growing support, Dashrath faced new challenges. Climate change brought violent storms that threatened to destroy his work, but he never backed down. Each obstacle was a new opportunity to show his strength and determination. "No matter what happens, I will continue," Dashrath said to himself on the hardest nights. "I promised Faguni, and I will keep that promise." Dashrath's journey was lonely, but he never felt alone. The spirit of his wife, Faguni, seemed to be at his side, guiding each blow of the hammer, giving him strength in his moments of weakness. Her memory was his light in the darkness, his reason to keep going when all seemed lost. After 22 years of hard and uninterrupted work, the impossible happened. The mountain, which was once an insurmountable barrier, now had a path over 100 meters long and 9 meters wide, created by the tireless hands of Dashrath Manji. The path was simple, but it represented a world of difference for the villagers. They now had direct access to the city, medical services, schools, and opportunities that were once only distant dreams. The news of Dashrath's feat spread throughout India and the world. He became known as the Mountain Man. Her story was a testament to the power of human determination and unconditional love. The government recognized his monumental contribution and began paving the road that Dashrath had opened, making life even easier for the villagers. "Dashrath, you did the impossible," said one of the village leaders, with tears in his eyes. "You changed our lives forever." "I just did what was necessary," Dashrath replied humbly. "If this helps our village, then my work was worth it." But for Dashrath, the true climax lay not just in the physical accomplishment of his monumental task, but in the transformation he witnessed in his community. Children could now go to school without fear, the sick could receive timely medical care, and people could seek better job opportunities. The mountain, which once represented separation and suffering, now symbolized hope and possibilities. Dashrath knew his work was more than a road. It was a path to a better future. He had fulfilled his promise to Faguni and honored his memory in a way few could imagine. Dashrath Manjhi spent his final years as a revered hero in his village and across the country. Her story has been told in books, documentaries, and even films, inspiring millions with her example of perseverance and love. He never sought fame or fortune. He just wanted to make a difference in his community. "If I could teach the world one lesson, it would be that nothing is impossible when you are determined to do good," Dashrath said in one of his last interviews. He passed away in 2007, leaving an immortal legacy. The road he built continues to serve his village, reminding everyone of the power of a single individual to change the world. Dashrath Manjhi proved that with love, determination, and courage, even the biggest mountain can be moved. Her story is a testament to the human spirit and a reminder that no matter how great the obstacles in front of us, we can always find a way to overcome them. Today, Dashrath Manjhi's road continues to inspire generations, showing that with faith and perseverance, anything is possible. If you like inspiring real stories like this, subscribe to the channel. We always have an amazing new story for you. Right now, watch this one that is appearing on your screen. I believe you will like it. To the next,